Video number 42. Number 42.1. My husband, Rondai, first saw his dead loved ones in dreams. He saw his older brother, his mother and father calling him from a distance several times. Then he saw his older brother in a dreamlike state who asked him to come sit and eat with him. I thought it would be his brother who would escort him because he spoke of his older brother all the time. Soon after, he became disturbed by an aggressive spirit. This spirit boldly stalked him. One warmer than usual evening, I asked our son to show me how to set the air conditioner. My daughter reported to me that her father saw another person standing with us. It was that aggressive spirit. About a week before his death, he wanted to go out on the patio because it was a bright, pretty day. Slowly we walked to the patio. As soon as he sat down, he wanted to go back into the house. When we got in, I asked him why he wanted to leave so urgently. He told me that he saw a form of his sister coming to him. That aggressive spirit was his sister, and she was on a mission. I said to myself, how dare she come take my husband away from us? A few days before he passed, I asked him about seeing his sister. He got a strange look on his face and pointed by his side. I was standing in front of her. I assured him that it's a good thing. I was startled. A day after that he declined to death. He had death rattles all night. Hospice delivered a suction device in which I used to suction the terminal secretions. In the small hours of the morning our 2 adult children came into the room. At this point he had 6 months of being in the hospice. I knew that he would pass that day. I spoke to him, held him, and massaged him. When he could no longer sustain breath, I told him to go on because they are waiting and that we would be okay. At this moment he turned his head and died. I felt him leave immediately. My mind saw him as a young man with a backpack on his shoulder, while he walked to his ancestors. Never looking back. Number 42.2. A few hours before my granny died in hospice care, she sat up and called out to her mama, and it was like she was so excited to see her and she was standing at the foot of her bed. Number 42.3. My father was on hospice at my sister's house. She was a hospice nurse and my mom was with him too. It was at night. My mom woke up and found my father in the closet with a very tall person with their hair in a bun. My mom called out thinking it was my sister. My sister was in her own room. The angel was holding my very unsteady father up and the angel disappeared. Number 42.4. My mom just passed on May 14th, a few days before. When she was in the hospital, she kept on saying, "Don't you hear the angels singing?" She kept on saying, "I'm going home." Number 42.5. When my mom was a few days from dying, she was reading some sort of legal documents on the ceiling. She had been blind for 5 years. She also saw her deceased husband for a year. Number 42.6. My mom saw everyone on her street growing up who had passed before her, all Irish immigrants. My sisters and I knew them as well, when they were living. A few weeks before she passed, she had been a 2-person assist, but walked across the room, without assistance, looked straight ahead to my left, and said, "Hi Jesus." She was no longer afraid. I had run to her room with my sister because we heard her bed rail rattling. She had not walked by herself due to severe stroke, for the past year. Number 42.7. I had a hospice client passing from lung cancer. He was the last of 3 brothers and never had kids of his own. He was pretty quiet most the time but then suddenly explained Johnny, his niece, Johnny's daughter happened to be there. It was comforting for everyone. Number 42.8. My mom who is dying told me yesterday she saw her daddy and one of her best friends. Comforting to her and to me. Please subscribe, like and share with anyone that needs these comforting stories. See link in description to submit your own story. Search for my related book on Amazon using the title of 4,000 Deathbed Vision Stories. Sincerely, Ken.